Amen. In the street, Church of Christ, how are you doing? Man, I'm humbled and I'm honored that you're preaching and reach out to me and invite me to come share in your homecoming. It's homecoming time, man. 63 years. I was reading a Barna Group study the other day on survivability of churches, and something, I think the numbers went somewhere like more than 80% of churches don't live past 50 years. So for you to be sitting here today on this occasion is a testimony of just how good God is, and how special you are as a group of people. And so we ought to be excited about that. Give yourself an honor for all. I know y'all came here and preaching that talk. Before I get started, I would just ask my family to stand up in the back. You might hear them. Just ignore the little one, especially the one that looks like me. Again, I'm thankful for Brother Bradshaw. I'm thankful for his constant encouragement. We've never spoken to him before. We know he got that Barnabas spirit, man. It's just encouraging. Friend of mine, and every time I engage him, man, he's just a humble spirit, man, just such an encouraging spirit. He just loves to be around people like that. So I know he has great things in store for this congregation. I just pray that you all support him, support his wife, support the babies right there all in that row, and keep them just in there lifted up by your love. Is that all right? Amen. If you don't mind, meet me in Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. We'll begin reading at verse number 1. If you have it, say amen. Amen. There the word of God says, the word of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. He asks a question. He says, what does a man gain by all the toil at which he toils under the sun? A generation goes and a generation comes, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun goes down and hastens to the place where it rises. The sun blows to the south and goes around to the north. Around and around goes the wind, and on its circuits the wind returns. All the streams run to the sea is not full. To the place where the streams flow, there they flow again. All things are full of toil, a man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. What has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done. And there is nothing new under the sun. It's another question. He says, is there a thing of which it is said, see, this is new? It has been already in the ages before us. There is no remembrance of the former things, nor will there be any remembrance of later things yet to come among those who come after. Is that in the Bible? The title of this lesson is, what is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? Beloved, if you're literary inclined, you know the author by the name of Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy, beloved, is widely regarded as one of the greatest authors of all time. Leo Tolstoy was a literary prodigy who found international acclaim from his late teens to his early 20s. He had a trilogy of works that he's most noted for called Childhood, Boyhood, and Youth. His landmark work is entitled War and Peace. So Leo Tolstoy, throughout his lifetime, became much more than just an author. Leo Tolstoy became one of the world's leading thinkers. Matter of fact, it was Leo Tolstoy who wrote to a young Indian lawyer and taught him the principles of ahimsa, which translates do not injure, but rather have compassion. It's this concept of nonviolence. The Indian lawyer that he wrote to would later be known as Mahatma Gandhi. It's Tolstoy's concept of nonviolence that would later influence key civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. So when you look at the life of Leo Tolstoy, it was one that was marked by acclaim. He was one of the rare few who gained celebrity status. He was one of the rare few who was praised by his contemporaries, even within his lifetime. Leo Tolstoy was an icon from very early in life. He amassed a great fortune. He was a political thinker. He was a philosophical savant. He was quoted hundreds of times, thousands of times rather, and arguably one of Tolstoy's most famous quotes comes from his work entitled A Confession. And in A Confession, Tolstoy, what he does is he tackles the existential crisis of what is the meaning of life. Are y'all following me? And it's in A Confession that Tolstoy writes, quote, "What will come of my entire life?" Or expressed differently, why should I live? Why should I wish for anything? Or do anything? Or to put it another way, is there any meaning in my life that will not be destroyed by my inevitably approaching death? My deeds, whatever they may be, will eventually be forgotten sooner or later. I therefore cannot attach any rational meaning into anything that I do. And what amazes me is that I failed to realize this from the beginning. How could anybody fail to see this? Is it possible to live only if life intoxicates us? But once we're sober, we cannot help but to realize it was all a delusion. There was nothing funny or witty about it. It's just cruel and stupid. End quote. Beloved, the question that Tolstoy is wrestling with here is one question that many of us refuse to ask ourselves. The question that he's wrestling with is one that many of us are afraid to ponder, and is one that many of us do not have an answer to. And that question is, what does all of this mean? What is the end game here? Why do I get up morning after morning? Why do I punch the time clock day in and day out? And instead of trying to find the answers to that question, you know what we do? We spend our life trying to fill it up with work, fill it up with running errands, fill it up with chores and deeds and watching TV and planning the next event. When's the next wedding? When's the next child? When's the next house? When is retirement? Planning out our next move. And the question still remains, what is your reason for doing anything? Because when it's all said and done, what would it have meant to do anything that you have done? Beloved, what would you have truly accomplished in the things that you do or say? And I know some of y'all sitting here this morning and thinking, well, Davis came in here negative. Brother Davis came in here with a depressive message. Brother Davis came in here talking all that nonsense. But beloved, I want you to consider that when your life is a fleeting vapor, it's a worthy conversation to have when you realize that with each passing second, your hair is getting just a little bit thinner. With each passing second, your eyesight is getting just a little bit dimmer. Your skin is getting a little bit looser. Your knees are just getting a little bit weaker. Your mind is getting a little bit slower. And before you know it, you will have lived your entire life without asking yourself, what is the meaning of life? Beloved, I want to set the context before we actually jump into the scripture. But this passage in Ecclesiastes comes out of this group of texts in the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, called the Wisdom Literature Corpus. You got Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, and Job. And what's remarkable about this book is that it speaks to every situation in life. It speaks to the hurt, it speaks to the joy, it speaks to the up, it speaks to the down, it speaks with frustration, it speaks with praise. And one of the most neglected books in the Bible is Ecclesiastes. If you get nothing else from this message, go home and read those 12 short chapters of Ecclesiastes. But when you look at the book of Ecclesiastes, I want to set the context. The Greek name is Ecclesiastes. The Hebrew name is actually the Greek translation of the Hebrew name, which is Kohelet. Kohelet. If you find yourself in a theological library or trying to study this on your own, you'll see Kohelet. It's Qohelet. Kohelet. Kohelet literally means teacher or preacher. That's the function. So that's why the Bible opens up the words of the teacher, the words of the preacher. And so what it is Solomon who has assembled this assembly together, this congregation, and he is teaching them what is the meaning of life. That is what Ecclesiastes seeks to address. And so for 12 short chapters, Solomon is trying to show you what is the meaning of life. Is this life worth meaning? Can I possibly find a peace in life? And what he does is interesting because he presents to them what we call a naturalistic understanding of life. And that is life through the human experience, life through the human lens. And so what he does is when he uses the redundant phrase, life under the sun. And you have to understand how the Hebrew structure, life under the sun is the realm in which man dwells. So this is a naturalistic understanding of life. And what is interesting is the words that Solomon uses for God throughout Ecclesiastes is Elohim. And that's interesting because he uses Elohim instead of Yahweh. Elohim is the impersonal name for God. It's the name for God that you get in Genesis. Yahweh is the name of the God of Israel. And so what he's trying to show you is that this truth, this message is not just for those who have a covenant relationship with God, but this message for those who have a covenant relationship with God and those outside a covenant relationship with God. The truth of Ecclesiastes applies to everybody across the board. And so, beloved, what you'll find when you read through Ecclesiastes is that Solomon is saying, listen, this message is for those who believe that they should have control over their life. This message is for those who believe that they are the master of their fate and the captain of their soul. This message is for those who think that their life is all about pursuing the things that I love, all about following my heart, all about doing what makes you happy. And so Solomon says, listen, this message is for you. That's right. And what I want you to see, beloved, the reason why you don't need to run with what Kohelet is saying is because Solomon is an old man when he writes Ecclesiastes. And he's reflecting back over his life. He was a young man when he wrote Song of Solomon, those that have read it. But now he's an old man reflecting back over his life. And what I want you to see is these are not just advice. This is not just simply good words. This is not just simply wise sayings to follow. But when you realize that it was penned by the wisest man to ever walk the face of the earth outside of Jesus, when you realize that this is written from somebody who knows what it's like to have any and everything that the world has to give you, do you not realize Solomon knows what it's like to be the wealthiest man on earth? Solomon knows what it's like to be the best looking man on earth. Solomon knows what it's like to be at the pinnacle of power. He knows what it's like to have the mightiest military on the planet of the earth. And what you get at about that is I'm getting at that Solomon knows what it's like to have everything and anything that the world has to offer. And when you read through Ecclesiastes, I'm going to give you Robert Davis' translation, Robert Davis' Cook Notes. Solomon says, listen, I sought the meaning of life through all the wisdom one could have. I sought it through all the wealth one could have. I sought it through all the power one could have. I sought it through all the companionship that one could have. I went down into the depths of human capacity to try to find it. I went up to the heights of philosophical thought to find it. I went everywhere there was to go. I chased it through accolades. I chased it through titles. I chased it through rank and credential and knowledge and lust and sin. I went everywhere there was to go. I talked to everybody there was to talk to. I did everything there was to do. I learned everything there was to learn. And this is what I found about life. This is what I found about the meaning of life. That all is vanity. Beloved, the text opens up. Vanity of vanity, says the teacher. Vanity of vanity is always vanity. And if I could sum up and just give one theme of Ecclesiastes, is always vanity. For 38 times in 12 short chapters, Solomon expresses this naturalistic view of life where he says life is vanity. The question is, what does he mean by that? Because oftentimes in our English vernacular, when you hear vanity, you think of like excessive pride, right? In one's appearance or abilities. You know, you think you look good, you think you got it wrong. That's not the concept that Solomon is picking up here. When he says vanity, it's this Hebrew word habel. Habel literally translates vapor. But oftentimes, I don't want you, when you study words, it's not just a literal translation, but you have got to find the context in which it's being utilized. Solomon is utilizing it figuratively. He's using it figuratively to denote something that is so minuscule, so small, so insignificant, and whose entire existence is brief. Vapors are here, and then they're gone. They're here, and then they're gone. Matter of fact, churches, there are vapors right now in the room, and none of y'all are aware about it. You don't care about it. It's here, and it's gone. He's saying that is what your life is like. Matter of fact, for those who know how to cook, or at least know how to boil water, you put a pot on the stove, you turn it on after about 5 minutes, you see the steam rising. You know why you see the steam rising? Because you have millions and millions of water vapors that have come together, and so you see the steam. So when you turn it off, 5 minutes later, the steam is gone because Because they're no longer coalesced together. And so what he's saying is that if you could just pull out one vapor out of the air, that is what your life is like. So what is Solomon saying? He's saying that your life is here and it's gone. Your entire existence is brief, it's insignificant, and it's utterly meaningless. So when you see that, you ought to think meaningless. And this is demonstrated in every aspect of life because the ultimate meaning of anything is in time. Time determines the value of anything. That's why everything that we have depreciates. The value goes down. But if you can find a house that didn't depreciate, if you can find a car that didn't depreciate, let me know where that's at and how I can get my hands on one. Because everything that has a time element is appreciated. Matter of fact, there's a lot of us, we get a car, we get a brand new car, we are so souped about it. Matter of fact, before I got hired at 60, I was out in Oklahoma in graduate school and I drove this little gray neon. This gray neon is the definition of a hoopty. Because when I went over 55 miles an hour on the dot, that thing would start shaking. So I always had to be in a slow lane because people were thinking if I could do drive something, thinking my tires are about to fall off. And so then I finally got hired. I went and bought a car. I went and bought a Maxima, a black Maxima, man. I sent all types of photos to my brothers and stuff. Said, man, check out my new whip. I spent $20,000 for it. I thought I was big stuff, man. I'm riding. And you tell the folks, listen, when you get in my car, make sure you dust your feet off. Ain't no drinking no drinks. Ain't no you go through it. No, not in my car, man. You fast forward a couple months after paying that car note, have a couple kids who throw up in the car, throw diapers in the car, throw food in the car. Man, you wouldn't even want to sit in that car without a towel now because ultimately time determined that it was ultimately meaningless. I know there's a lot of y'all here. Whenever you try to get your first house and you want to qualify for a mortgage, man, you stop spending, you want to get your credit together, you paying creditors off that you never wanted to pay off because you want them to take that mark off your credit report. And so you get the house, you open up and let everybody know I closed on the house, took the photo with the keys and the realtor. You make sure that all your flowers are all nice and everything look good because you want everybody who comes to the house to know, man, look at the house they got. It's nice. Everybody who drives by, man, you fast forward 3 years of paying that mortgage, you got dust on the wall, you don't care. Baseboard got dust, you don't care. You can't tell if it's flowers or weeds. You don't even care because ultimately time will tell you that it is ultimately meaningless. Those that got married, the men out here, you had to go buy a ring. Anytime you like me, you had to go buy a ring. I had to sell my soul to give my wife her ring. I gave half my soul into the jeweler because I didn't have enough money. But I gave her that ring, and man, well, I'm telling you, when she first got it, it comes with that plan that they say you can bring it in, once a month, get it cleaned up. And so I gave it to my wife, and it was like a carrot. Well, I spent everything on that ring, and she was showing everybody. Man, look at my ring, look at my ring. Now, man, my wife would be washing her hair. That ring would be on the edge of the sink, just ready to fall in. I could trade it every once in a while because after 6 years of marriage, her looking at that ring, the ultimate meaning of it went down, beloved, because ultimately time determines value. So Solomon is saying that your life is vanity. Your life has no real purpose. Your life has no real value. Your life is futile. And he explains it like this when you get home and read it. He says, trying to find meaning in life is trying to grasp after the wind. Amen. Did y'all hear that? Amen. Beloved, so yes, you can spend your entire life following your heart. Yes, you can spend your entire life doing what makes you happy. Yes, you can spend your entire life doing whatever you want to do or living your best life. But beloved, if God is not at the center, then your life is meaningless. And so, beloved, for the first of these 11 verses, which you'll see, he's given us what I said again, this naturalistic understanding of God. Life under the sun, where man reigns. What you'll find is that in all 11 verses, in this first little short period, there is absolutely no mention of God anywhere in the text. Because he's trying to show you what life is like when you're not following God, not committed to God, not attached to God. And so the first thing that, the question that I want to ask you before I jump into the text is, if God is not at the center, if God is set aside, then why does it matter whether you're living your best life or whether you're living your worst life? That if God is not at the foundation, why does it matter whether you're kind and loving or cruel and evil? If God is not at the center, if God is not your foundation, why does it matter whether you are a good father or a bad father, a good mother or a negligent mother? If God is not at the foundation, why does it matter, beloved, whether you are kind to people, whether you kill people? Who determines right from wrong? Who determines that rape is wrong? Who determines that molestation is wrong? Who determines that thievery is wrong? Beloved, if God is not at the center, why does it matter whether you conquer let's finally get into the text. Verse 3, it says, what profit a man from all his labor, which he toils under the sun? That's a good question. And then he says, one generation passes away, another generation comes, but the earth remains forever. Then he says, the sun rises, the sun goes down, and then it hurries back to its place where it rises. Then he says, the wind blows to the south and goes round to the north. Round and around goes the wind. And on its circuits, the wind returns. And then he says, all the rivers run to the sea, but the sea is not full. To the place where the rivers flow, there they flow again. What Solomon is trying to show them through these simple metaphors and observations is that everything in life is a revolving circle. The concept of revolving circle means that there is no real progress. There is no actual forward trajectory. It's just unchanging. And it's just a cycle after cycle after cycle. So Solomon says, listen, whether you're here or not, that sun is going to rise, that sun's going to fall. That sun's going to rise, that sun's going to fall. When we put you in the ground, we eat the chicken, and we have our good little crowd, we're going to wake up the next morning, that sun's going to be up in the sky, and then after about 12 hours, it's going to drop down. He said it's going to rise, it's going to fall. Whether you're here or not, he says the wind is going to go blow around and around and around. Whether you're here or not, he says the rain is going to rain down into the water, into the rivers going to flow out to the sea, it's going to evaporate, it's going to rain into the rivers, it's going to flow. It's just a cycle after cycle after cycle, whether you're here or not. But in the beginning, he puts you in a cycle. Because he says your life is a cycle. Your life has no progression. Your life is unchangeable. What is the cycle, Solomon? He says yours is a cycle of labor. The Bible says that? It is this Hebrew word. Actually, I want you to see this. This Hebrew word, amalo. Amalo means, it's this all-encompassing word that means misery. Back-breaking work. Trouble. Amalo is the concept of he's saying it's something that describes pain. He's saying it's painful, that your life is a short cycle of pain. And the reason why Solomon has to point that out to them is because folk will live their whole life trying to convince themselves that life is not as painful as it really is. Folk will live their whole life trying to convince themselves that life is not as bad as it really is. Life is not as laborious as it really is. Life is not as toilsome as it really is. And beloved, what he's trying to show you is both sobering and depressing. He is saying your life is nothing short, but nothing less than a short cycle of pain, beloved. And when you have this conversation, you'll find out there's those that will argue that the moment you are born, you are never, ever in a state where you're pain-free. And what they argue is that from the moment you are pushed and squeezed through your mother's birth canal, you are in pain. When they pull you out the womb and the lights hit your eyes for the first time, you feel pain. They come in there and they hit you with that vitamin K shot so that your blood will coagulate together, and then there's pain. They come in and they prick your finger because they got to check your blood sugar. And then they come in and your nail is circumcised, and then there's more pain. And then you have the pain of actually having a diaper rash. You have the pain of getting hungry for the first time, the pain of getting tired for the first time. Then you have the pain of just growing up and falling down and getting scrapes and cuts. You have the pain of if I can get money, somehow life is not as bad as it seems. And then you know what happens? They get money and they find out that rich folk got pain and poor folk got pain. They tell themselves that maybe if I can find a man or a woman, a husband or a wife, then maybe somehow life will not be as bad as it seems. And then they find out that married folk sure got a whole lot of pain and single folk sure got a whole lot of pain. And then they tell themselves maybe if I can have a child and then I can find some meaning and I can find my passion and my place in life. Until you realize that once I'm done to start talking and walking, that parents got pain and folk who don't have children have pain. It's just, he's saying your life is a short cycle of pain. On top of pain. On top of pain. On top of pain. On top of pain. And then he pushes it. Let's take one more step forward. He says, watch the verbiage. All things are full of labor. That's that word among. More, let me first say, more than one can express. Not just try for the last 2 minutes to express pain. I don't even talk about pills.
That's right.
Pills give you a side effect. Pills to sleep. Pills to get up. Pills that give you side effects. You take pills for taking pills. I didn't talk about the virus. I didn't talk about the headaches, the cold. It's just pain. On top of pain, on top of pain. And then he says this. He says, he switches. He says, the eye is not satisfied with seeing, or the ear filled with hearing. What has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done. And there it is again. There's nothing new under the sun. Is there a thing of which it is said, see, this is new. It has always been, it has already been in the ages before us. The people of long ago are not remembered, nor will there be any remembrance of the people yet to come by those who come after them. So again, he reiterates the fact that life is full of pain. But then he takes it a step further when he says, not only is your life a short cycle of pain, but life under the sun is one that can never bring you satisfaction. Church, you want that house until you actually get it. You wanted that car until you actually got it. You wanted that job, and then you got in there. I don't need no harm with this next one, but
go ahead. Yeah, say it,
you wanted him, and you got it. Brothers, all right, I got your back. She was mighty fine when you saw her across the road, but then you got it. You wanted them children, then they got older. And so, beloved, what we're trying to show you is that no matter what aspect of life that you look at, it'll never bring you perfect satisfaction. There's some of us in here, like myself, been on a diet for 3 years. You've been dieting for 5 years. You know, the problem is you lose 5 pounds and you go eat a cheeseburger. You know why you eat a cheeseburger? Because that weight loss did not bring you ultimate satisfaction.
That's right.
And so, beloved, we think to the landline, when they changed to the little phone that y'all have, the big old bag that y'all had to carry around, the little suitcase, it was communication. When they turned it into the smartphone, it's just communication. Even science. I am a science major. But science is not novel. Science is just finding a new way to do the same old thing. Science is just trying now to find an explanation for things that have always been. My great-grandma did not need to get a degree in biology to know that if you throw something up in the air, it comes down. Just because I slapped the tag gravity on it does not make it new. I'm just finding an explanation for things that have always been. And beloved, if you're not careful, you will find your whole life thinking that somehow that meaning is right around the corner. I can find it or innovate it. And Solomon is saying, it's like grasping after the wind. But then he pushes it to the final step, in which he says, not only is your life this short cycle of pain, not only is it one that will never bring you satisfaction, not only is it one in which you cannot innovate, but then he says, to add insult to injury, that no matter what you do, Haigler Street Church of Christ, no matter what you do, give it enough time, you won't even be remembered.
That's right.
That your entire existence won't even be remembered. That no matter what you do, you won't be remembered. No matter what you accomplish, I talk to my young folk all the time in Spartanburg. No matter what you accomplish, you can cure cancer, you can become the president, you can do all this. You won't be remembered. Church, there are some of us in here who worked with a coworker for 15 years. Left the job and gone for 10 years. See the coworker in the store and can't even remember their name. Some of us in here had a boyfriend back in high school, a girlfriend back in high school that you was just all in love with. Now went to war with your parents over there. And thank God you didn't marry them. And then seen them 30 years later and still trying to remember their name. There's a reason why when you go to family reunion, they make you put that tag on. That's right. Because half of us don't know who the other person is. You don't know what side of the family they're on. You don't know if it's mama or daddy. The young brothers got to be careful because it may be your cousin, it may not be your cousin. You don't know this. We don't even know family members. Some of us in here can't even name our great-grandfather. You don't know anything about him. And this is a person who lived and sacrificed and provided for their family and made a way for you to be here. And you don't even remember. Matter of fact, if I was asked this sister right here to stand up and name all the presidents. I don't know anybody who can name all the presidents. And if you can name all the presidents, I dare you to try to name 15 vice presidents. And these are the people who have ascended to the greatest and most powerful position on the face of this planet, and you don't even know them. And that's what Solomon is trying to get you to see, that you would not even be remembered. And when you think about that, why does it matter whether you love your family? Why does it matter whether you're kind to them? Why does it matter whether you provide for them when enough time will pass where they don't even remember you anymore? And so, beloved, the picture that he's trying to get you to see is one that's dark, is one that is depressing, but it is sobering, beloved. And what I want you to see, I came here to bring some joy. I came here to bring some good news, beloved, because what I want you to see is that, it is true. It's true that life under the sun is difficult. Yes, it is true that your life is a short cycle of pain. Yes, it is true that life will never bring you satisfaction. Yes, Colin was right whenever he said that you can't innovate. Yes, Colin was right when he said that you'll never be remembered anymore. Yes, Colin was right when he said there's nothing new under the sun, but I came this morning to tell you that Colin only had part of the story. Because for those of us that know a man by the name of Jesus, we know that when Jesus came, the whole picture changed. We understand that when Jesus came and when he stepped on the scene, everything became new. God coming down as man, beloved, that was new. That God-man came and brought with him a new covenant. That God-man came and said, I'm going to save your soul and make you a new creation. Beloved, that God-man said this whole world won't last forever, but I'm going to create a new heaven and a new earth. Yes, Solomon says there's nothing new under the sun, but the Bible says that now one who is greater than Solomon is here. And you remember what he told John in Revelation? He said, behold, I make everything new. So yes, I know that Solomon says that your labor and your life is a short cycle of labor. Your labor is meaningless. But the Bible says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast and immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain. Yes, I know that Solomon said that your life is one short cycle of pain, on top of pain, on top of pain. But one greater than Solomon says, and God shall wipe away all the tears from your eyes, and there shall never be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain. I know Solomon said your life will never bring you satisfaction, but one greater than Solomon says, blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. I know Solomon said that your life, it will end in one way, it end in the grave, but one greater than Solomon said, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die yet, he shall live. Beloved, if you're looking for meaning, Jesus. If you're looking for the reason why, Jesus. If you're looking at the purpose behind all of this, Jesus. If you're looking for purpose in your life, Jesus. If you want to know why I can face tomorrow, Jesus. You want to know why I don't care about what the doctor has to say, Jesus. You know why I'm not worried about what's going to happen with my family, Jesus. You know why I'm not stressing about the bills, Jesus. You know why I don't care about what folks got to say about me, Jesus. You know why I don't care about why whether folks are going to remember me or not, Jesus. Jesus, he brings eternality.
That's right. That's right.
And so it matters that I'm a good father.
That's right.
Because Jesus.
Amen.
Because me and my son realize that life doesn't stop here. But there's a new heaven and a new earth that we will inhabit.
That's right.
And beloved, that's the reason why it matters what this church does.
Amen.
Because what y'all do here has eternal ramifications. I am a science major. I tell all my young people, shoot for the stars, go into the lab, find a cure for cancer, and cure black folk with diabetes and sickle cell. But I don't want you to ever forget that you spend your whole life thinking that that is the end all, and you cure this brother of cancer, you cure this brother of diabetes, you cure him of sickle cell, and you still don't die anyway.
That's right. That's right.
And then what does it mean? But if I pull him off the street, and when he is down and I lift him up, and I bring him to Jesus, we have all of eternity to sit there and say, brother, if it wasn't for you holding on to me, I would not be here. And so, Haigler, I challenge you. Get behind the mission of the church. Because what you do here ultimately is the only thing that matters. Young folk in here, I'm telling you, young families, I'm telling you, do not waste your life chasing the things that will never bring you satisfaction. I know you want families, I know you have plans and goals and dreams. Go after them. But don't forget that it's in here is the only thing that matters. So I hope you walk into your job tomorrow and you're not focused on so much on whether I get the promotion or I get the promotion, do I like my people or not like my people, or like the boss or not. But you walk in there thinking that I'm bringing the kingdom of God here. And that's my focus.
That's my purpose.
That I'm bringing the kingdom of God amongst my family, bringing the kingdom of God amongst my friends. Beloved, I hope that I said something to encourage you, but right now it's the most important time of this worship service. I want to give an opportunity for a visitor to make the most important decision of your life. The only decision that matters. There's a lot of decisions that we make in life that's important. But at this time, we want to give you an opportunity to say yes to Jesus. Jesus is everything. We're going to give you an opportunity right now to say yes to Jesus. The only thing I want you to understand is that you need a Savior. Because you cannot save yourself. The preacher here needs Jesus more every day than when I first said yes to him. Everybody in here needs Jesus, but you need Jesus. You cannot stand before God and him allow you to come to heaven being judged off of your own merits. Because God's standard to get into heaven is to be perfect. Now, if you can do that, you can get into heaven. If you're perfect, you can go. But if you're not, you have to come in off the righteousness of somebody who is perfect. And that's what I want to introduce you to Jesus. He came to live perfect, but he died. He didn't stay dead. But he got up to show that all power is in my hands. That death does not have the final say. And it's through our faith in Jesus to which his righteousness is imputed upon us. And God, when he looks at us, he does not see us based on ourselves. He sees us based on his son. That is the good news of the gospel. The good news is that you can't do it, but Jesus can. The only thing you have to do is say yes.
That's right.
Is there somebody who's willing to say yes? Let us stand. Let us stand. Is there somebody in here who's willing to say yes? If you're there, and you're willing to say yes, we ask that you walk down here. We're going to ask you a simple question. Do you believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God? I don't have anything to give you. We're not going to anoint you with anything. But do you believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God? Which is to say, do you believe Jesus is who he says he is? If your answer is yes, we will baptize you for the remission of your sins. When you're baptized, you are united with Jesus, not only in his death, not only in his burial, but also in his resurrection. And you will walk out of here a member of the Lord's body and a member of the church. So as we sing the song of invitation, if there's somebody who's willing to say yes to Jesus, we ask that you come forward. Come forward now.
Amen.